Okay, picture this. You've got exactly 4 minutes to conquer a standard job interview. 4 minutes! I mean, that's barely enough time to drink a cup of coffee, right? But here's the thing. If you come prepared, you can actually use that tiny window to establish a powerful professional brand, showcase your expertise, and totally nail the impression that lands you the job. So, let's dive into exactly how you do that.
Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to completely deconstruct a model interview transcript. It's a quick exchange between a hiring manager named Cameron and a really sharp candidate named Lesty. We are going to look at this not just as a casual chat, but as a carefully created blueprint for success. By pulling apart the anatomy of her winning pitch, we'll see exactly how efficiency and strategy can, well, completely own the room.
So here's our roadmap for today. We're going to walk through 5 key stages. Section 1 is the perfect self-introduction. Section 2 is explaining your why. Section 3 focuses on proving your strengths. Section 4 tackles navigating challenges. And finally, Section 5 is all about asking the right questions. Let's jump right into Section 1, the perfect self-introduction, setting the tone. After a quick reading, Cameron kicks things off with an absolute classic. He asks, "Could you please introduce yourself?" Now, what's really fascinating about this prompt is that it is an immediate invitation for you to deliver a structured, foundational pitch. It's not a request for your entire life story. It's your golden opportunity to show them that you know exactly why you belong in that chair. And Lesty totally gets this. She doesn't hesitate, she doesn't ramble. Instead, she instantly stacks her hard skills. She brings up administration, data entry, customer service, and office support. Honestly, this is brilliant. She is immediately checking off those foundational requirements that the hiring manager is probably sweating over, proving her undeniable competence right out of the gate. But she doesn't just stop there. She pivots straight from technical abilities over to her soft skills, casually mentioning that she enjoys learning and always tries to be organized, responsible, and positive. She's essentially saying, hey, I have the technical skills you need, but I also have the mindset that makes me a total joy to work with. She's consciously created a picture of a really adaptable, well-rounded professional. All right, moving on to Section 2, explaining your why, connecting to the company. Next up, Cameron asks, why do you want to join our company? Now, managers aren't just asking this to stroke their own egos. They really want to verify cultural alignment. They're checking to see if you've actually thought about why this specific company is the right fit for you, rather than, just copy-pasting your resume all over town. And Lestia delivers this highly focused answer. She specifically mentions admiring the company's reputation and wanting to learn from experienced colleagues. Do you catch the subtlety there? She's gracefully flattering the company's standing while simultaneously reinforcing her own ambition for growth. It's basically a perfect win-win proposition. She just created a direct, logical link between their resources and her own potential. Which brings us to Section 3, proving your strengths, stating competencies. So Cameron fires off the next big hurdle. What are your strengths? And man, this is where you really have to walk a tightrope. You've got to deliver your best attributes with absolute confidence, but without sounding arrogant. Lesty offers up an incredibly concise list. She names communication, teamwork, attention to detail, and time management. Notice how perfectly these support the specific administrative and office support experience she just pitched a minute ago. She isn't just pulling random strengths out of thin air. She is intentionally reinforcing the exact professional brand she created at the very start of the interview. But listen, a list of corporate buzzwords isn't going to cut it, and Leslie definitely knows this. She grounds those broad bullet points into a highly actionable, practical outcome. She adds, I stay calm under pressure and complete my tasks accurately. See, this is exactly what hiring managers are desperate to hear. It translates a vague conceptual strength into a tangible benefit for the workplace. If the office gets absolutely crazy, they know she won't crack. All right, let's look at Section 4, Navigating Interview Challenges, Past Performance. So Cameron asks, can you describe a challenge you faced? Welcome to the high-stakes behavioral segment. Literally anyone can claim they handle pressure well, but this specific question forces you to pull out the receipts and actually prove it. Lesty sets up her scenario just perfectly. She describes this super busy period in her previous job, where she was juggling a ton of urgent tasks. It's highly relatable. She doesn't throw any of her former colleagues under the bus, but it's still stressful enough to warrant a strategic response. It's just the perfect canvas for her to demonstrate her skills in action. Let's see exactly how she builds a solution here. She breaks her methodology into a really clean 3-step framework. Organize the work, communicate with the team, and execute before the deadline. She totally diffuses what could be a messy, stressful anecdote and turns it into a literal masterclass on project management. She has effectively created this narrative where she is the steady anchor in the middle of a storm. And finally, Section 5, asking the right questions, the closing sequence.
Just before they flip the script, Cameron drops one last summary question. He asks, "Why should we hire you?" Lesty uses this to tie a neat little bow on everything she's presented so far, heavily emphasizing her work ethic and rapid adaptability. She's firmly locking in the value she brings to the table.
And then comes the critical turning point. Do you have any questions? In a split second, the power dynamic completely flips. You are now interviewing them. And honestly, how you handle the floor here speaks volumes about your actual engagement.
Lesty is totally ready for this. Instead of asking about, lunch breaks or vacation days, she asks about training and what specific qualities lead to success in that role. Her proactive, growth-oriented questions trigger this super enthusiastic response from Cameron, who proudly lists all their mentoring opportunities. It's perfect synergy. The candidate's ambition perfectly matches the company's culture.
So, what are our main takeaways from all this? Well, Lesty succeeded because she carefully created a foolproof blueprint. Pitch your foundational skills early, validate your cultural fit, prove your process under pressure, and always close with proactive questions. Mastering this anatomy is absolutely vital if you want to maximize your impact in such a short window of time.
Which leaves us with this final thought. Are you ready for your next interview? Think about it. If you only had 4 minutes to prove your absolute worth to a hiring manager, what would your perfect pitch sound like? Take these structural lessons, apply them to your own professional story, and the next time you sit in that chair, you'll be more than ready to own the room.